Welcome everybody, and thank you for tuning in. This is Zealous here, and I'm coming at you today to talk about one of the more prominent strengths to playing a Colossus Javelin. That is our amazing armor and shields. Now, even with all of that, you're going to find yourself in situations sometimes where you're still getting chipped up, you're taking damage, you're trying to get your teammates up, trying to keep everybody on their feet. I want to go into some defensive details for helping get a Colossus through a situation like that, especially as you guys progress up into higher Grandmaster difficulties. Now, I want to center this discussion over a question that came up via a Colossus thread I started over on Reddit. Thank you for everybody who's been contributing to that. This question comes from MotorCityDude. He says, "Hey Zealous, do you know if the shield break perk is referring to an enemy shield or a Colossus shield? I've been asking around, but no one seems to know. Having my own shield actually break just to use the perk makes no sense to me. Any help is appreciated. Hashtag Team Colossus." Thank you so much for that question. Team Colossus all the way. You know what? I wanted an answer to that question myself, so I'm a hands-on guy. Let's jump into this and see what actually happens. For the sake of this test, we're going to be looking at a series of masterwork components, starting with the Stalwart Badge. That just gives us some proc clarity, but a little bit of a damage increase when our shield breaks. The Ablative Shielding, that gives us 25% damage reduction for 5 seconds when your shield breaks. Vanguard Emblem, which triggers an explosion when your shield breaks. Again, more visual clarity here. Softened Blows being our only universal component to make the list, but a darn important one because 75% damage reduction when your shield breaks for 5 seconds lines up perfectly with the Ablative Shielding. Last but not least, a Synchronized Frame, just for some slight damage buffs. Now, it's been confirmed via community and also via Reddit that bonuses that you deal with in Anthem are additive. They are not multiplicative, so at least in the theory, you should be able to stack these up. So technically 100% damage reduction, right? Maybe? I mean, for me at least, that sounded a little too awesome off the bat. My first thought was that there have to be some kind of diminishing returns behind that, or it's not, exactly 100 just for putting Softened Blows and the Ablative Shielding together. That's our main two for this. So, I wanted to put it through the most rigorous test I could. To kick things off, I decided to fire up Grandmaster 3, find a Scar hideout, and just look for the biggest dumpster fire I could find. Now, the point of this first part is basically to see, alright, what happens? What happens when our shield breaks? We just let dot damage just go off and just burn you down. So does the proc happen? You get the break, and yes it does. If you see there, we get 3 that go off. We get a Ablative Shielding, Stalwart's Badge, and of course Softened Blows. The most important two that we need there are the Softened Blows and Ablative Shielding. So we know something's operating there. We know that these at least trigger together. There's nothing that we're missing, at least on paper, what it looks like. So just to look at it again, if you look closely, you still do take damage initially off the bat from whatever you got hit by. And the reason I think this is so important is this is immediately showing us some barriers to this and some limitations. Besides the initial spike of damage that you take up front, also notice that there's still a bit of burning damage that goes off. So as soon as those procs kick in, we're not just in the clear and just saved from anything that we took before. So that initial spike is key. With all of that in mind, there's no way I could stop there. You had to crank this thing all the way up to 20. I went in and tried to find one of the nastiest mobs of scars that I could. Bear in mind, this is still GM3. Want to get all of them in front of me, just to position how you would want to position with the Colossus. Of course, trying to keep everything within range of your shield. We've got all types of damage coming at us here, and this is what happens when you put a Colossus literally in World War III. With about every type you can have coming at you. We've got Blast, we've got some Burning from the Enforcer in front of us. We've also got Bullets. So if you look at what's happening here with the shield breaks themselves, you see the procs kicking in. I've even thrown a shield pulse in, just for good measure, to see if that even adds any bit of an effect to this as well. I'm also popping my health back up with the Heavy Assault Launcher Siege Cannon. That's the best defense when you hit mobs. You get like a 35% chunk of your armor restored. I think that's a really cool combo that can be used in conjunction with this to sort of support the idea of the invincibility. I put that in quotes, of course, and everything behind it. This is where things get really, really weird, though. And I want you guys to pay really close attention to this. Exactly what are the sources we're taking damage from besides that initial kick of damage. Again, we have the procs regularly going off here. Everything's triggering. When we still get the break, the burn damage and the blast damage, like there, for example, we're still getting chipped by the blast damage despite all of our defensive procs being up and active, which should technically be at 100%. So notice, bullets, we shrug them off. You can literally walk through those like Juggernaut. The rest, though, can really still cause you a problem. Even a breakdown in the worst case scenario, putting you in a situation where good luck having somebody pull you out of that. I can't think of another Javelin that can endure something like that, though. I thought this was still amazing. Not quite the result I thought we were going to see, but where it puts us is a really interesting place. If you're going to be using these parts together, to really keep in mind exactly what's coming at you, what you can take at a given time, and paying attention to that DOT damage and that blast damage. So my hope is that some of you Colossus players out there, you guys take this info, do what you will with it. If you come up with something really cool, like a derivative or something else, hey, I want to hear about it, please be sure to post right here in the comment section below. If you have something to add about this specifically, or something else about armor and shields and the way they interact. Also, I'm going to be sure to leave a link somewhere in the description below to that thread I kicked off over on Reddit, just asking you guys, hey, what do you want to see? What are you looking for? What are some things that you'd love to actually see visually done with Colossus, or that maybe it's kind of murky, because chances are I don't know either, but we'll find out. So, hey, again, look, thank you guys all for tuning in. I can't do this without you. I'd love to keep hitting the labs with this stuff, or maybe even partner up with some of you guys who really delve into the math side of things, looking at thresholds, or maybe armor maximums, caps, stuff like that. Remember, if you dig what you're seeing, a like or even a sub to this channel really goes a long way into keeping us doing what we love to do. But that is going to be it for me for now. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Take it easy. I'll see you again soon, but until next time, good luck out there.